Exchange motives, estate planning, optimizing your estate and transferring wealth to future generations without family disputes. This is a huge topic, again, within the baby boomer category of making sure you have an option and that you understand that you can do estate planning now rather than later. And ultimately, that tends to help you out in evaluating or eliminating disputes and issues amongst the siblings and family members. Some of the questions I have for you is, well, if you could bless your kids now, would you? Right? Do your kids all think and act the same? Do your heirs want to manage, maintain, or handle selling assets? Do you own the same number of properties as your heirs? As you have heirs, rather, meaning, do I have 3 properties and I have 3 kids? Well, if you do, congratulations, that worked out well for you. But if you're like the rest of us, you probably don't have the same number of assets as you have kids. Additionally, your investments probably aren't all worth the same amount of money. So the question becomes, who gets what and why? Well, there arises the family dispute. This is a great example of how you can ultimately make changes and better your position by also improving your family's situation with your estate and how it will be handled upon you passing on. In this example, we're going through the deferred to the delight, right? So we were able to help Flora with her property here in Mira Mesa. And her situation was that she had been managing or had a manager locally, wasn't a very good one. And so she was really involved with the day-to-day and month-to-month of her rental properties. Now, Flora is located in Hawaii, so dealing with these properties was a stress for her. Additionally, she wanted to find out a way that she might be able to help her kids with her current investment properties and how that might help them in their current situation of owning real estate. So through this process, right, Flora had some tenants in the property that were vacating. As you can see here from the photos, the property needed quite a bit of work, right? Property needed new kitchen, bathrooms, windows, roofing, everything you could possibly imagine. And therefore, she was looking at repairs in excess of $60,000. Secondly, she was interested in owning something in Las Vegas. What was important to her was if I could use that property in Las Vegas in some capacity, or to be closer to my son, that is worth it. So we started evaluating what our options would be to sell this property and 1031 exchange into a property in the Las Vegas market. In doing that, we were able to identify that she had options for new construction in the same price bracket within 15 minutes of her son. So Flora was able to sell this deferred, maintained property, reinvest with the 1031 exchange into a brand new construction in Las Vegas. Now, the other part for that is Flora also wanted to simplify, right, her position of owning income property. In doing this change, she was able to sell that property, reinvest into a property that her son is now renting from her. So safe to say simplification there because she's the landlord and her tenant happens to be her son. Not going to have to worry about talking to him as far as a monthly payment goes or maintaining the property because ultimately that property will become his property. So now her son has an asset in Las Vegas that he can turn into his primary residence down the road. But as of current, he can enjoy the property and Flora can come visit him and enjoy the property rather than still owning a dilapidated deferred property here in Mira Mesa. So it's a great example of how she was able to take this current position in Mira Mesa that wasn't serving her anymore, convert it into an asset that helped her son with his current living arrangement, simplified her responsibilities for managing, and helped provide the beneficiary the direct benefit when she does pass away. Additionally, she's in the process of helping plan with her daughter for relocating additional assets to Hawaii for her daughter to live in. So ultimately, big picture, she's going to be in a position where both of her kids own assets that they will both realize and inherit. And there will no longer be any consideration about the kids having to figure out, how do I sell property out of state? What's going on with the management companies? What kind of repairs are needed? And ultimately, who do I talk to or what do I do next with managing, maintaining, selling, what have you? Instead, there's nothing for them to do in that space anymore because they've already accomplished what the end game is for both parties. Just another great example of how taking action now ultimately is going to help put them in the best position later. And you have to ask yourself too, is there an opportunity right now where I can help bless one of my kids and ultimately in return bless myself with simplicity and the benefit of knowing I helped one of my kids out and I got to see how I helped them out.